Weather with Chief Meteorologist Bill Alexander.
All right, Bill, everybody in the Crossroads very concerned, obviously, about the heat, but now we have something else to be concerned about. Her name is Andrea.
Andrea, it's getting interesting. All of a sudden out here, a routine reconnaissance aircraft went in there and came out with a very tight circulation at the surface, 1,002 millibar low pressure, and away we go.
And she is just named, and you are right on top of it.
Yeah, we've been watching this carefully, and now all of a sudden things are ramping up. But let's talk about heat, because that's what's the subject right now. And it is hot outside. We're talking about just upper 80s along the coastline, where you've got a little bit of a sea breeze. Step in the interior, lower to middle 90s, but more importantly, factor in the moisture, and we've got a heat index of 104 in Edna right now, 102 in Bay City, Cuero 102. It's been as high as 108 in Edna within the last couple of hours. It's brutal out there. Things aren't going to be improving very much, although we do have some relief on the way in the short term. In the meantime, though, let's talk about your pollen count. Grass in the moderate category today, mold in the high category. Those were the only things that showed up. As far as your maximum temperature today, we made it up to 94, well below our record set a couple years ago at 100 degrees. Morning low of 69, which actually is slightly below normal, but things change rather dramatically when you start to bring moisture in. Let's hope we can get some rain out of that moisture, and it looks like we might. We're 6.6 inches below normal for the year. No rain during the last several days. Now, let's take a look at our scenario, and we'll be talking about this for several days yet. We do have a front that's working its way down across the state, and that's what's been firing those severe storms over the high country, and that'll be working into the northwest Texas area during the evening hours. But meantime, here's Andrea out here in the Gulf of Mexico, and Andrea is going to be an interesting little pattern for us. I'll try to break that down for you, what will be happening. We've still got extreme heat, 90s and triple digits across the southern part of the state. Cool air working on down, and the relationship of this cool front to Andrea is going to play a critical role in our rain potential. Now let's take a look at Andrea. We've got the storm sitting out here right now. Let's put the maps in motion and watch the path Andrea takes as it makes landfall by Thursday night and then on up the Atlantic seaboard. Gonna be a real problem for them. But for us, maybe a welcome relief, because the moisture from Andrea spilling across that front could give us some decent rains. Let's talk about how much rain. Here you go. We're looking at 1/2 to 1.5 inches, and back towards the Houston, Galveston area, 3 to 5 inches by, say, midday on Friday. That's a good rain total coming up. Looking at future track, we've got that front coming down into play as Andrea moves its way to the upper coast of Florida, makes its landfall, and starts to become a hybrid type of storm as it begins to be absorbed in the frontal structure. In the meantime, we've got some beneficial rains in store. Here's your forecast. 71 degrees, that's your low temperature. A humid night tonight, and then tomorrow we're looking at scattered thunderstorms beginning during the afternoon. Heat index again up towards 100 degrees. Not quite as brutal tomorrow night, as we actually get up to about a 40% chance of rain and thunderstorms tomorrow night before things begin to dry out on Friday. All eyes are on the Gulf, though.
That is right. Like you said, some bad news for the East Coast, but maybe some good news for us.
They've had a lot of rain there. There'll be a lot of flooding along the Appalachian Trail and on up into the mid-Atlantic. We could use some of that rain, and we just might get it.
We could. Thanks so much, Bill.